All right, so I thought I'd do a little video tutorial here in Sedona, Arizona. If you're not familiar with Sedona, Arizona, it's about an hour and a half from downtown Phoenix. If you're in Anthem or northern Phoenix, it's about 65 miles. So by Camp Verde, but before Flagstaff. So this is the Porsche SPYDER replica. This is modeled after James Dean, the little bastard, unfortunately, that he got in a car wreck in with his mechanic. I believe his mechanic lived, but lived for a little bit. But I think he succumbed to his injuries towards the end, if I'm not mistaken. The driver of the other car was still alive. This is a recreation of that. It's not a real Porsche 550 SPYDER. This was built by Beck. Beck Porsche replica speedsters. This is a very, very, very cool car. It's got a lot of nice stuff done to it. This is powered by a Subaru EJ25 non-turbo fuel injected car. I think they have about 180 or 90 horsepower. This car was actually built for SEMA. It is an older SEMA build. It started out with an Audi TT with a 5-speed, and then they went to a Subaru fuel injected motor. It was more like a tech kind of car that someone did with the, I guess, intricacies of some type of touchscreen gadgets, etc., etc. So the good thing about this is it's super reliable. The motor was built by Out Front Motorsports in California. It utilizes, like I said, a Subaru EJ25. It is out of a Subaru Legacy. You can turbo these. I've had plenty of Subarus, and they are very easy to work on. This is a single overhead cam. Some have dual overhead cams. But this is a very, very, very cool car. And I want to show you the inside and everything. So it does have Simpson 5-point harnesses. So you have the 3-inch shoulder, and then you have the 3-inch lap, and then the crotch belt. It has the vintage Speedsters emergency brake. I have a custom fabricated gear shift knob right there. There is the Beck horn button, infinity speakers, and then that is a double DIN, but that is your master cell computer from Infinity Box. Ices was the first name, but obviously they changed it. And then down below is your stereo. Both passenger and driver seats are fully adjustable. Back behind the driver's seat, you have your amplifier for the stereo. And then that dash screen right there is what controls the power to the car. So you have a master cell, which is underneath the dash for the painless wiring harness. The front master cell, which I will show you right here. And then there's one in the rear of the car. So we just take this like this, and then you can see there is your master cell. I'm trying to do this all with one hand, so you have to kind of bear with me so I can take the hood release and put the latch on the hood strut mechanism right on. So there is your front master cell. This is your cockpit tonneau cover. Master cylinder. There's your Beck with your Germany logos. And then what we have here is when I turn this on, here is your power. And then your computer screen for the master cell will line up. It'll just take a second. Here it comes. Here is your ISIS. I apologize about that. This was before. Now it's Infinity Box. So you have a 4-digit PIN number, I'm sorry, a 6-digit PIN number, which I will give to the owner. I'm gonna turn away. Here is all your push button. So you have your ignition. So these are your headlights. You can go to your headlights, which should come on right now, and your interior lights. So here are your lights. And then I'll turn on the dash lights. These are your high beams. Turn on your fog lights. And then this is your dash lights. Look at this. Dash lights come on. So you see right there, there's your dash lights. The screen goes a little bit darker. Electronic fuel pump. So it does have 4-way hazards as well, which I've shown in the other videos. So again, here is storage for your cockpit cover. Here's your blinking lights that everything's communicating. So you have one here for the front, one here into the dash, and one for the motor. But I have the cockpit cover, which is a suicide cockpit cover. You can drive with one side, or you can have the entire car covered, covers a dash. I also have windows and a top, but it is a very, very cool car. It goes everywhere with no problem, super reliable. It's a very, very fast car compared to Volkswagens. I've had plenty of Volkswagens. I'm gonna turn all this stuff off here real quick. And then I'm gonna turn off the power. I've had plenty of Volkswagens, and I'm a big Volkswagen enthusiast. I've had plenty of dune buggies, Myers-Manx buggies, the replica dune buggies, the El Lobos, plenty of sand rails. I know everything about the Volkswagens, 1600s, the dual ports, 1500 single ports, going to the 1915s, the 2276s, 2332s. I'm very familiar with Volkswagens. You can put a Volkswagen in here. It does utilize a Volkswagen transaxle. And the good thing about this is you can put literally any type of motor you want back here within reason. If you want to put a Corvette motor, they make adapters by Kennedy Engineering. A little bit of tweaks here and there, but you can get it done. You can put on another Volkswagen motor if you want as a spare. But I like it because out here, we're at higher elevation, about 4,500 feet above sea level versus Phoenix. So you don't have to worry about adjusting carbs or worrying about air-fuel mixture. That's why I like the Subarus. They're super reliable. This EJ25, you can put on a turbo if you want me to have someone put on a turbo, depending on how much boost you want. You can put on, 5 pounds to 7 pounds, which is still super reliable. You can do adjustable boost all the way up to 20 PSI, which is kind of a lot for a Subaru. That's our thunder and storm over there, so I'm going to wrap this video up. But has 4-wheel disc brakes. The whole entire motor, like I said, was done by Outfront Motorsports in California. It's all been powder coated. Very, very, very nice car. It's got my touches on it, like I said, with the James Dean emblems. Like I said, it's all Beck. There's the Beck right there. German logos. You got your Pegasus back there, which these decals, and all these are removable. The Porsche. And then custom license plate 3D cover. So very, very cool car. If you have any questions about anything, if you want to stop by and see it, you're more than welcome to stop by. We can put on my lift. But it's a very, very nice driver. Always draws a crowd at any of the local car shows. Like I said, this was a SEMA old car show, car that was built for SEMA. Has roughly about, I think it was 4,200 kilometers. So doesn't have a lot of miles on the build, but it's a very, very nice driver. You can use this for your business if you want to attract customers or patrons at a bar or some type of establishment. I've yet to see kind of like this almost gray blue, but that's what it is. Thank you.